Hello, my name is Annie. This is going to be my non-spoiler review of The Novice and Inquisition by Taran Matharu. I don't know how to pronounce his name. This review is going to be non-spoiler, so if you haven't read these books, then you can still watch the entire video. The Novice is the first book, and The Inquisition is the second book in the Summoner series. I was chosen to review these books by Lovingdon Books with her whole booktubes tour thing that she does, and I'll have a link to that information in the description. And there's also a link to the book trailers in the description also. Hi, it's Landy from the future, and I forgot to mention about the giveaway that this is doing. Pretty much, there are 5 copies of The Inquisition that are being given away, and you can enter that giveaway by clicking on the link below. So I would totally recommend that, because come on, it's a free book, and also it's a good free book, so totally do it and you have nothing to lose. These are only the first 2 books in the Summoner series, and it's not completed yet. But the series starts off with the Novice, who is Fletcher, who is also a blacksmith's son. Son being like a relative term, because he's actually like an orphan, and then the blacksmith took him in as a child. And he lives in a small town named Pelt. After given a mysterious book and a mysterious scroll by an even more mysterious soldier, he finds out that he is actually a summoner, and summoners are people who are able to summon demons. And then the demons they use as battle pets. They're like Pokemon, pretty much. But there's not that many in the world, so they're all trained in the academy to help in the war against the orcs. And in the academy, they learn to master their abilities and summoning things and go fight against the orcs. That's pretty much what the premise of the series is, especially the first book, because the first book is the definition of an origin story. If you like those origin stories where the magician is going to the school and learning how to master his powers, you're probably going to like the first book. Some examples of that are probably The Ranger's Apprentice, Name of the Wind, and I think The Grey Wolf Throne, which is one of the books in the Seven Realms series. Now my thoughts about both of these books is the writing isn't really phenomenal in either of them. Just the way he describes things and uses imagery and etc. is just really crude, and I can't really imagine a lot of what's happening, which is something that's pretty important in fantasy novels. And with the plot, though I do like origin stories, I think I really like The Inquisition more than I like The Novice, because this was getting more into the plot of the entire story, while this was just you learning about the world and all the characters and etc. One thing that I really liked about these first 2 books is the author's use of discrimination, because there is a lot of it that goes on in this world. And one of the examples is because Fletcher is a commoner and he goes to the academy where there are a lot of nobles, he does face a lot of that himself, and there are a lot of things with not just Fletcher that are happening, and these people are treating these other people totally awfully, and I like how the author deals with this subject and how important and prevalent it is throughout both of the books. There's definitely no insta-love in this series. In fact, there's not even a lot of romance in the entire series anyways. It's definitely there, but I'm not hardcore shipping it, because it's really not that big of a deal, and when it does happen, you're just kind of okay, that's cool, but I'm eh about it. But yeah, to you people who don't like romance that much, then it's not really important in this series at all. I do like a lot of the characters, and I feel their personalities were pretty distinct, but I think they were really just distinct to me because in the beginning, the author, this is something about his writing style, he tells the reader what you should be thinking about all these characters, and he describes them for you. That's just one thing that the author does. He doesn't let the reader find out things by himself. He'll outright say everything that's happening in the plot, and it really made me feel like I was 8 years old or something, and I was being told by a parent sometimes. But his characters were likable. But one thing that I didn't like about the overall characters though is because they were all really black or white. You either hated these characters or you liked them a lot. There is no gray area characters. They were either on the bad side or on the good side. But with the characters you're supposed to like though, I think I liked them a fair amount. But Fletcher did seem a little bit dull to me. But one thing that I really like about Fletcher is that he's not really an overpowered summoner at all. He's just kind of a normal guy, but he's still the main character, so there are things that make him unique. I didn't see him as being overpowered as the chosen one or anything, and I just really liked that part. But yeah, pretty much those are my thoughts about both of the books. But specifically about The Inquisition is I think I liked this one more. The writing didn't necessarily mature a bunch and then become mind-boggling in their Infernal Devices, but I do think that things in the plot really did pick up, and a lot of things were able to happen faster, because this book was fairly slow because you were being introduced to everything. I'd rate The Novice about a 3.5 or 3.6, and then I'd rate The Inquisition probably a 3.8 or 3.9. That's my review of these 2 books, and you're probably going to see these in other videos also. So thank you so much for watching. Bye!